up on us 3 a.m. like Bossa Nova. Hey, fuck a bottle, nigga, bring the cornerstone. If I was you, I wouldn't fuck, I'd fuck with his bro. I just spent the bitch vehicle in the Gucci store. He talking about how he be spinning, but is he gon' spin it though? Bought the rooms all out, each and every flow. Simon's Indy, or you can catch a Uber.
First of all, and if you watching this, because let me tell y'all something, we've been having 100 views on these videos. I think the other one got 60, 70, but that don't reflect in our subscriber count. So if you're watching this right now, I need you to go hit that little like button and hit the subscribe button. It don't take nothing. It does not cost you anything to like and subscribe and leave a comment. It doesn't cost you anything but a few seconds. Welcome back to another episode of Xcuse Me podcast. I am Tay.
I am JeJuan.
I am Semaj.
And JeJuan, I like how you added that yawn in that stretch.
Yeah, I just had to, that burst of energy. I've been really excited, and I look forward to Mondays, honey. Mondays.
I look forward to this Monday because I didn't have to work. Yes.
Yeah, but you sure worked my tail.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
let's get into
show up on time. Show up on time, sweetie. Show up on time.
Okay, I think it's very funny.
Go ahead and clock out for me. Go ahead and clock out. Go ahead and clock out for me. Clock out for me. Clock out for me. Go punch that clock. Go punch the clock.
When he was late last week.
Go punch the clock. You're tired. You're tired
because you've been working like a slave.
The only thing fashionable, the only thing classy about you is that fashion. Hang it up. Hang it up.
But at least it is classy. First of all, no.
You're a gutter snipe. You're a gutter snipe.
And you're what? Right about the hood. And you're what? Right about the hood. You're what? Right about the hood.
And your mother was a whore.
Yeah. No. And you're gonna tell yours. Go tell her.
Your mother was a whore.
You're gonna tell her. Because last week,
and your mother was a whore.
She sold me $10 at a Vince.
Because last week, Tay was late, and I don't know, wait, and I don't remember.
Your mother was a whore.
And
a whore.
Oh, so you were late because my mother was a whore. So you late because of my mother.
Why do you always do this at the beginning of every episode?
Y'all, you did it with Tay last week. Because Tay be coming for us. First of all, no, because I'm tired.
This is about self-love.
No, first of all, when he was late, JeJuan, I don't remember him. I remember us blowing up his phone like he was blowing up mine.
Y'all were. Yes, y'all did. Yes, y'all did. Yes, you did.
We did not.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
But I don't think we chose as much as violence as we should have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the problem on y'all. That's the problem on y'all.
Okay.
No, we
know. And next time I see you, I'm nailing you on the cross.
Guess what? Because I will drag you both. I will drag you both, one in one hand and one in the other. One in one hand and one in the other.
You think?
I don't think you have the hand-eye coordination.
Let's bet. No, y'all gonna be like Young Miami. Y'all gonna be like Young Miami, swinging off beat, both of you.
We got a better chance with 2 people versus 1.
No, you don't, girl.
Somebody gonna hit a
No, you don't, girl.
Somebody gonna hit it.
Somebody getting ran over.
Somebody gotta be distracted. Somebody go pop.
I'm dead.
It's not gonna happen.
I'm sorry. I got out of character.
It's not happening.
Does that sound like something you would want? Well, let me tell you. You'll never get it. You'll never get it. Not with me. No.
I got out of character. See, you can't let people bring you out of character.
And you can't. And that's why today we're going to be talking about self-love during the month of love. And I wanted to talk about this because I just feel like it's important. Self-love is important when it goes into a relationship because self-love teaches you how you
a relationship. What's that?
JeJuan, shut up. So can you let me finish? My educated speech?
Go sister.
Self-love teaches you how to what you should accept in a healthy relationship, what you will allow yourself to put up with, what you will allow yourself to exist around, who you will allow yourself to have this energy connection with. And then also for the single people, JeJuan.
Why you just say my name? Am I
because you was the one that was, what is a relationship?
It was a joke. God damn.
I know, girl, and I was sending the joke back. It's okay, and the truth hurts. So that's there.
And it does. And it does.
But no, listen. Self-love as an individual, a single individual, it's the difference between passing on by and being able to stroll through like you own it. So it's the difference between being one of those people that's like all distraught and head over heels about life, and I'm single and I haven't accomplished this and I haven't done this yet and I have so much to do in such little time, versus being that person that's like, you know, life is happening, I'm living life, I'm keeping up, girl. She keep trying to change the channels, but I'm running with that bitch. She's not going to kick me off the air. That's what self-love is. So yes, I wanna ask JeJuan and Semaj and all of you out there that's listening to comment below and answer this. What has your self-love journey been like so far? Like what do you feel, no. What do you feel like? What do you feel like connects you, or what do you feel like taught you? Because I feel like for me, okay, well, let me answer first. So for me, it was a series of failed situationships in which I feel like I kept sharing vulnerable parts of myself with people, and they weren't caring and they weren't fragile with those things. They treated them like nothing and they threw them away. So like once I got out of that last one, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna focus on me. I need to get to graduation. I need to get my life together and start building this future like for myself of what I wanted my life to look like. So literally like that second, I let myself like grieve for like 2 hours and was like, okay, funeral service over, girl. I got myself together. I organized everything. I started keeping a calendar and my little planner. And yeah, I just started focusing on what my body was telling me and what I was feeling and thinking and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of like what got me started with self-love. So what got y'all started? What do y'all feel like connects y'all to that thing?
For me, shout out to Black woman. Shout out to Black woman. Shout out to Black woman. I feel like through them, like I said earlier, I've always had that strong family foundation. So so from another aspect, seeing, you know, my mom get heartbroken and my grandma get heartbroken plenty of times, you know, seeing them get down to the dumps, you know, woe is me, this and that. And then like, you know, it's a process, you know?
Yeah.
After seeing that loneliness and that sadness, it's like, okay, I have shit to do. Like, I got to get my shit together. I have people that are watching me. I have people that are seeing me. And I don't want them to see me like this. You know, I may get down. I may get sad. I may not get confident at one point. But then when that's over, I'm back to being a bad bitch. And I'm back to getting on my shit and getting my business done.
Period.
But in terms of like relationship, I've never been in a relationship. I've had many attempts at a relationship, and the last one really taught me like,
you have some things to work on.
I have some things to work on, but damn it,
it's tough. It's tough out here.
It wasn't all my fault.
Right.
It wasn't my fault.
It's more about what you can tolerate. You learned what you can tolerate.
And I didn't know what I could tolerate until that point, you know? And nobody's ever brought me to that point where I'm just like...
And I just want to say one thing, too.
Over this?
I want to say one thing, too, about what JeJuan and Semaj said about tolerating some certain things. For certain people can tolerate certain things and certain people can't. So just because... it's not your place, and this also goes into that aspect of self-love of knowing when and what to allow yourself to give your energy and time to and what not to. So it's not your place to look at somebody else and be like, oh, you putting yourself through like stress and all this other stuff and anxiety to be like, oh, well, you shouldn't tolerate that. This is not good for you. Like you can do it like, I would say you could do it like once or twice. But after that, just step away from it. it's not that, it's not for you. It's not about you. It don't concern you. But yeah, I think that was important what JeJuan said. He had to figure out what he could tolerate because a lot of people don't try to notice those things and they keep allowing themselves to put up with toxic behavior. But continue.
And see, I've had multiple conversations with Semaj as well in his power, because he really is huge on boundaries. And he's probably going to talk about that after me, but boundaries is a big thing. And yeah, just like I said, just so many failed attempts of people trying to get at me, but you're not getting at me in the right way. So it's kind of like, I know how to, with my past, I know how to get myself together. And then on top of that, I know what I have to stay focused on, because if this is not going to be 100% thing for you or for me, then what are we doing?
Right.
You know, and I have to, and I'm always big on protecting myself, protecting my energy, because I know I can get
crazy. Attached. I think it's attached. I think it's attached.
Don't read me. Don't read me.
Well, no, because it's the same thing. Because remember, JeJuan, in that situation with the last person, who was egging you on and telling you, yeah, that's the right way to respond. It was me. So I understand, because we are the same in that way. We get attached really quick because we see somebody and it's like, I know, like, you kind of get to know that person, and from like the initial interaction, it's like so powerful that you like, wow, like, so you planning the future, child.
Right. Baby, like, why are you talking to me when you know you don't want me?
Right.
Well, right.
Well, so I'm glad that both of y'all said all of these things. Now, okay, so 4 stages of a relationship is number 1, the initial meeting. And then number 2 is infatuation, that interest, curiosity, all that stuff. Number 3 is enlightenment. That's when you really learn past all the gushy stuff, right?
That's when the cupcake stage ends.
Okay, and then commitment and engagement. And so I think with us, okay, so let's back up. For me, when it comes to self-love, I grew up in a house where both of my parents are very I don't want to say callous, but they don't show their vulnerability a lot. And so for me, being such an emotional and like that type of person that didn't really work in that household.
Are emotional.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. They don't show. Don't. You see how the train don't do me? You see how? You see?
No. We gathering, but we gathering.
Right.
Like, you know.
Right.
You know.
Because y'all know.
Yeah.
I'm very emotional, so that didn't really work in a household. I'm very sensitive, and that doesn't work in a household where people are very callous and they don't show their vulnerability. So for me, I had to do that self-work on my own, because like JeJuan had the privilege of seeing his mom and his grandmother be vulnerable and learn from that stage.
So many times.
And that's true attachment. When you can see somebody's vulnerability. For me, I didn't have that. Nobody around me was being vulnerable enough. And so for me, that self-love path was truly on my own. I had to go through certain things in my life where people showed me vulnerability, and then I got to really learn about them and myself. There was a moment. You want to say something, or you want me to?
Yeah.
What you gonna say?
You want me to say?
Oh no, I was gonna say shout out to my mother because of what Semaj was saying, because I kind of relate in a way like JeJuan, but not all the way. So like I remember being little, like very young, like 5, between the ages of like 4 to like 8. And so that was kind of like a tricky part of like life for me and my mom in general, because she had just got out the military, moved to Dallas. We were trying to get situated, but stuff kept hitting like dead ends. So like during that time, now that I'm older, or like when I turned like 16 or like 15, I was like looking, like reflecting back on that point in my life. And I just noticed like, dang, we were really struggling. My mom always made sure that I had like everything that I needed. I was taken care of and things like that. And I knew like she didn't express like those feelings towards me, like feeling down and defeated or anything like that. But I knew she did behind closed doors. So I feel like that kind of like put it into myself to like be in tune with my emotions and to like just allow myself to feel stuff, because I feel like as a
Okay, I have a question for everybody, just really quick, and then we'll get back to you guys. Did y'all ever? Okay, it was always this feeling of, from a mom's standpoint of, I gotta hide this from my child. But are you really hiding it? Because I could sense it. Could y'all sense it?
Yeah.
I could sense it.
But no, let me tell you, in that moment, I had to, because now that I'm older and I look back on those moments, I pieced it together in my memory that way. So I think I sensed it, but I didn't know how to process it at that time. Until I got older, I was able to process it because I understood. Like when you get older, you go through trials, tribulations, and things like that. And so then you're able to look back on past moments and be like, oh wow, like this was really a moment, and this was like, and so yeah.
I don't think I could. My mom was living in a household where, so my great grandmother had 12 brothers and sisters. So my grandmother has 11 brothers and sisters. So when my mom had me, she was really depressed. She was living with those family members that would constantly like keep her in a depressed state. And so for her, it was like, as soon as I turned 1, she moved. And I think from that point on, I don't know if she made a conscious decision or not, but she really was like, I don't want to ever show that side of myself to my child. And I think she was really good at not showing that. But the down part of that is, I was listening to Therapy for Black Girls, and she said, when you are constantly avoiding an emotion, when you're constantly trying to shelve this emotion, when that emotion needs to come up, you never teach your body how to deal with that emotion. And so it feels like a ton of bricks when that emotion finally comes. You keep avoiding it, and I think that's kind of what happened for me, that she was trying to avoid all of that emotion for me. So when I got to a certain age where I saw the world in a different light, it was like, it smacked me like a ton of bricks. And I don't think, I think it would have been better had I experienced some of those emotions growing up.
And see, what you saying, that brick, that just adding on brick, like, if you keep adding the bricks on, it's going to be some situation that you've never encountered or never dealt with, and then you just kept putting bricks on that emotion, you're going to explode.
Right.
You're going to explode like no other. And it's kind of like, where did that even come from? It was it was you suppressing that emotion, that feeling.
And that's why I'm big, like, wow, I love this topic. I love talking about this. That's why I'm big on allowing yourself to feel things, because anytime I'm like talking to somebody and they're going through something or anything like that, I always tell them, well, allow yourself to feel like what you're feeling, because it's natural to be upset, angry, sad, depressed. Like all of those things are like natural feelings, whether we like them or not. And so I was reading this book by this Buddhist practitioner, Thich Nhat Hanh. Shout out to Janae Echo, because she put me onto that book, and it was very great. But he was talking about how like your negative emotions, they're like small children. So you have to be tender with them. You have to be gentle and caring, because you're nurturing that part of yourself that doesn't feel happy.
Right.
So you have to nurture that. And so you have to allow yourself to feel it, because when you feel it, you eventually get to a point where you're like, okay, feel something else. So now you want to find a solution that's going to make you take those bricks that were weighing heavy on you to build something else to escape from the place. So then when you find that solution, you're able to grow from it and move on. And it's healthy because that door is shut. So you can healthily like revisit that moment in a healthy way. And you can always step into that door and not feel any like pain or anger or rage from it. And you can leave like, when you look, you might look back on somebody's death. And in that moment when they died, you probably felt like the world ended and how can I survive and I'm not going to be able to make it. But let's say a few years move on and you finally realize like, dang, I've been making it. I've been surviving. Like I've been living life and been great. So you allowed yourself to feel. So now you can think back on that person and experience happy moments thinking about them. You're not thinking about them no longer being here. So that's what allowing yourself to process and fully heal, and then close that door and move on. That's what allowing yourself to feel things like the power that has.
I'm glad.
Oh, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm glad that you're saying that to coddle your negative emotions, because I think people have a tendency to want to tell you how to feel.
Right.
Like if I'm upset about something, and you're like, girl, you don't need to be upset about that, but I am upset about that. Like, let me be. Stop telling people how to feel. Like, let me be upset. Let me be how I'm feeling, because it's how I feel. Let me get over it in my own time and be like, okay, I'm going. I can admit I was doing that. I was doing this, but still, I need to feel what I'm feeling. Let me sort it out for myself, and then I can be able to like circle back around and be like, okay, why was I feeling the way that I was feeling?
Right.
But
I think that goes back into what you were saying about like allowing yourself to coddle, or going off of what I said, coddle your emotions. One thing I want to point out is I think that's why sometimes, and I don't want to make this generalization because I don't have like statistics, I don't have proof of this. This is just something
study that dictionary.
It's something I'm observing, and I'm forming a hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like
use that school. You hear me? Use that school.
Use that degree. That degree.
Use that essence you got.
But no, I feel like in a sense, Black men don't have those caring characteristics. They don't have those characteristics.
They don't have empathy.
To care, to nurture, to be empathetic. So that's why when they experience negative emotions like sadness, anger, and rage, they aren't able to coddle them and nurture themselves out of it. So they deal with them in a negative, like they have a negative reaction to those emotions instead of processing.
Right.
So then that's why they act trashy. That's why they do trashy things, and they have a trashy mindset, and how they move through life is trashy. So yeah.
Yes.
I think it's like what I said before. When you have a home lifestyle that teaches you not to deal with emotions, or you can't be emotional, when that emotion comes up, you never taught your body how to deal with it. So, like, I was talking to my mom the other day about, it was this couple on YouTube, and they were talking about cheating, and like, it was basically like questions. I think it was truth or drink or something, and the dude was like, would you sleep with a dude to save my life, or would you just let them kill me? And she said
no.
She said, I'm going to sleep with him because why? I want you. At the end of the day, I'm going to save your life. It is what it is. We move on. Mm-hmm. He said, no, why would you do that? Mind you, just before that, he said he would sleep with somebody to save her life. And so he said he felt like cheating was more emotional for women and, all of that stuff. Now, for me, it's like when one bad thing happens to a guy, it's like they eradicate everything. When one Black girl broke their heart, I'm never dating Black girls again.
Yes, and they're sensitive. Yes.
And it's like, baby.
The world ends. That's what upsets me. The world
really, because you're upset.
The world ends for everybody because you went through one thing in life.
Like white people.
Yes.
And that's why they date white women, because they were like, Black men and white women go hand in hand because both of them act like one thing happens to them and
they want to stop.
Stop the world, girl. Stop the world. Everybody
Beyonce,
stop.
Stop the world. World stop. Don't carry on.
It's not gonna carry on.
It's not gonna carry on, girl.
Okay, you gonna carry on right in hell.
That's why crazy.
So I think even
the parallel.
Right, and I even what I suggest other people to do. I have conversations with. I'm dead. I have conversations with myself at the end of the day. I have conversations with myself and say, how am I feeling? What is going on? And so the 4 questions that I narrow down when it comes to self-love and being in relationships is, number 1, how much can I tolerate? Am I able to tolerate this? Number 2, shut up. Number 2 is, what is the person that I'm dealing with? What are the things that I want them to do? What are their requirements? And then number 3, what are the things that they are actually doing? And then do they match up? And then number 4, dang it,
Come on, girl.
I was gonna say, girl, because you was coming with the coming on.
Yeah, like it was
Is this
talking
something
about
that you memorized or?
Well, I because whenever I have conversations with myself, I realize that those were the questions I kept asking myself. So when it comes to dealing with guys, when it comes to dealing with myself, okay. And so for me, like I said before, my biggest thing is being a hypocrite. I don't want to ask something of somebody that I can't.
You're not gonna do.
Yeah. So am I deserving
Wow,
of this
other people should do that too.
I think that's a very mature feeling to be like, I can't give you this, so I can't ask for that. Because some people
And
think
it's
that
okay if you
some
can.
people, but no. And this is the thing. It's this thing. Some people are okay with giving you that.
Right.
But it's not a requirement for somebody to give you something that you cannot give them.
But you know you can't.
So if you want to sit over here and say, I want somebody that's gonna buy me this, and gift me this, and you're not gifting them nothing, then they have every right to be like, you a gold digger, you are a pocket chaser, moving on. You're broke.
I'm crying.
You're broke. And so that's why the girls are broke. They really are broke. And so that's why you date on your level and you move up. You humbly you have to be humble about where you are and go across your level of where you at, because you're gonna get caught up in a situation when you're dealing with somebody that's levels above you, and they're gonna have you wrapped around their little finger, move you around like a little puppet, and you're gonna realize that you gave them some of your best years of your life, and that they just discarded you for somebody else.
My gosh.
And what I want to say, even just going back to self-love and what you were saying, Tay, is there are moments that teach you
survival.
Okay. Like survival skills, and especially within friendships. And what I want to say is people put relationships with their significant other higher than any other relationship they have.
No.
I don't necessarily
you said no.
I believe that in the sense of the partnership, but I don't believe that is in the values and ethics, because you would have these girls let these dudes do things that they would never let their homegirl do, that they would never let their mama do. And so my whole thing is, do you
never let their sibling do?
Do you love yourself enough to be like, okay, I have these boundaries with my friends, I have these boundaries with these other people, and then not have those same boundaries with your partner? Because 9 times out of 10, you'll find a better partner, and your partner will respect you more if you just say up front, this is not what I'm willing to deal with. And that's
I like that you said that, because
I was just gonna say
for me personally, I would say in a relationship, yes, I kind of tell people like, I don't want to say that. Okay. So when I'm talking to somebody, I will tell them like,
he thought about it, restudied that dictionary, and then
When I'm talking to them, I will tell them up front, like, if I'm on the phone with them or something and one of my friends call me, I'll be like, I gotta call you back. Like it's an important emergency, so I'm gonna click. But if I'm on the phone with my friend and they call me, I'll hit that custom text button. I'm on the phone with my friend, click, it's an emergency, click, and I'll be back on the phone. But my whole thing is I let them know, like, my friends are up here. Like, my friends and family are up here. It's not until you get far along enough in a relationship to where y'all may be engaged or married, to where that marriage or engagement puts you above.
Or been together for a long time.
Yeah, or like y'all, if y'all are living together but not y'all new ones.
Yeah,
the old ones that's been together for like 2 years or so, that's been living together. I feel like all of those things move you further up than those. Those are when that expectation kind of starts to exceed your other relationships. And that's how I feel. Like, you're not going to have the priority over my life until we get until
I feel I'm the priority in your life. Respect goes a long way. Oh my gosh.
Because my energy is sacred.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
I'm
God,
not just
it's so
gonna allow
sacred.
somebody to come in my energy without proving that they're worth.
And then this is a
and you should
different,
be the same way too.
and it's a different
Yes.
type of energy too. That's what people don't, because some people might listen to that and be like, y'all putting y'all relationships behind y'all friendships and family. Yes, because you're not understanding a relationship is an intimate thing. Like that is something very like fragile. So while y'all trying to rush into it, like y'all trying to live like these reality TV people, you want to rush through the whole community, the whole football team, the whole basketball, whatever you're doing, baby, you're doing it. Anyway, so like y'all are allowing you're giving these people all of your intimacy, and you're giving them too much access to you, and you're giving them the space to not have those boundaries, and you're giving and you're giving and you're giving, and so they're taking and taking and taking and taking, and they drain you, and then guess what? They leave you.
Right. Yeah.
They leave you when it's nothing left. They leave you and they move on. So that's why you have to learn your place and earn your spot, bitch. You're number 3, and you can move up in the future.
Once you show me that you are worthy of my attention, my respect, my intimacy, and my energy, space, and time, which is why I say,
well, this is, I think, there were two, like, I don't want to say relationships, but there were two people, I guess,
there were two situations.
Hold on. Is one of them a recent somebody?
There were two relationships that because what I recognize, and okay, so I have a lot to say. Number one is when you work on yourself and you realize, okay, there have been times where at the end of whatever we were doing, I was like, man, I could have done this, or man, they should have done this.
Reevaluation.
When I reevaluate, I can look back and see that every single person that I've dealt with was better than the last.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
I love that for upgrading.
Yeah.
So the last two really taught me a lot about myself, because the first one was, I wouldn't say he was everything that I wanted, but just how he treated me was what I wanted. And then, but he wasn't ready to fully go there. And I respected that. And I said how I felt. He said how he felt, and we just kind of moved on.
Can I just say, hold on. I'm sorry for interrupting Semaj. Because Semaj never really talked, and people pay attention to him. But no, I'm gonna let him finish. I just want to say, I want to say that I love the accountability in this room, in this space. The accountability is flowing for everybody, because even it takes a lot, and that's what people don't have. And also the self-reflection. People don't have those things of being able to look back, self-reflect on things, and be like, okay, this was an issue, this was the issue, this was a problem. I may have contributed to that, and whatever the case may be. Right. But you're also able to be accountable and be like, I know I played a part in it. Though the overall issue was that person, I still played a role to some part. And I think that's important for people to be able to look back on, or just like, even if you're not looking on it, to be like, this is what I did wrong, even to be able to self-reflect and be like, this was a great quality that I didn't realize that I would require, but now that I got that from somebody, I want that. So checking this off, adding it to the list. Right. Like somebody said, he met this person, he was great, he just couldn't give himself to him in the ways that wanted to. They couldn't be on the same page, basically. And Semaj said he respect that. And a lot of people wouldn't respect that. A lot of people would attempt to gaslight somebody. They would attempt to cut ties. They would attempt to cut ties and move on. They would attempt to be passive aggressive. They would attempt to accountability. Girl.
And let me say, before somebody get back to this point, thank God for, if I didn't see it, my friends will see it and will let me know and tell me, bitch.
And I love that, and I love friends that will clock you. Your friends need to clock you, because even going back a little bit, rewinding, when JeJuan got into that situation, I I took accountability. I told JeJuan, I said, and it was kind of on my fault because I did tell you that was right. But then I also told him
in the moment it felt right.
Yeah, and I told him, and I told him, and I said, as a friend, I said that's how I was telling you how I would react, and I said, but I also didn't think about like, okay, in the times when I reacted that way, how the outcome was, it was terrible. Yeah. So I was like, I was thinking about what you could do and not what would happen as a result. But at the same time, I even still told JeJuan, it was some things that you did that was just like, because even he was saying that his mom was like, no. And I was like, yeah, JeJuan, no. Like, no, you was doing, and JeJuan was like, well, I don't understand. I was like, no, JeJuan, because no. And so JeJuan, he eventually processed that and was like, okay, like, you right. Y'all right. And so that you have to have friends that's going to hold you. That's the thing. Y'all friends don't hold y'all to the fire. Y'all better rotisserie rotate their asses on their plane.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Even I don't want to speak on your situation, JeJuan. But
no, babe, go ahead. Go.
That ahead. Was an example of, for me,
he's healed.
letting your friends feel whatever they need to feel, because at the end of the day, I understood that because it was a miscommunication and because it was just y'all two weren't on the same page. Mm-hmm. You're allowed to be upset about that. You're allowed to be upset about the consequences that brings on. But at the same time, okay, so how can we make this better? What can we do to reevaluate that forward?
Kill him.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Yeah, I got body bags in the gym.
There are women in jail that will tell you otherwise. Don't kill him, sis. Do not kill him.
I don't know, because they go to because they go to jail. JeJuan, look. No, because they go to jail and they end up finding their life partner. So it might be.
You know what? So
yeah.
What I want? Oh.
No.
No. Listen, no. When Semaj finishes his point, I want to ask a different question. So
okay. So I wanted to speak on the attachment and detachment styles, as far as, because y'all were talking about y'all's attachment to, guys as soon as, So, first of all, what I think for me, and my friends clocked me on this too, is I do get attached really, really fast, because for me, I don't like everybody that comes in my face. So when I do, it's like, wow, okay, I need to hold on to this. Because being black, being gay, being all of those things, you don't find people that are on your wavelength. So when you do, you're like, okay, I need to hold on.
This is mine. He's the one for me. Finally, I can get my Elena and Stefan. I can get my Bella and Edward.
Not these white loves, child.
Hey, that's the only thing I grow. Okay, how about this? Okay, I can get my Noah and Wade. How about that?
So when we do that, we don't really notice, okay, this might not actually be the best person for me, later on as we awaken to different things. Mm-hmm. But what I realized was, even in, I don't want to spill no tea. The most recent one. Yeah. The most recent one. Because even me and my friends, including you, JeJuan, we go back and forth over this situation, because a lot of them, and I don't know if you've said this one, but a lot of them feel like, forget him. Let's move on. Forget him. And when I sat and I looked at it, I said, he didn't do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. Just because he said something that I may not have liked or I may not have wanted, or that you may not have liked or you may not have wanted, doesn't mean that he was being a bad person. Because he was at least communicating something that he felt and that needed to be done. And so with him, I realized, okay, he told me
he told
what
you what
he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And what the thing that got me was, it wasn't just ning around the house. It was like he was asking me some deep questions that I felt like needed to be had. Yes. And so that's what really like drew me in. But then it was like, okay, so we're in this panty. I'm in this house. We can't really move forward on any of this. So he let me know straight off the gate. Okay, so I don't want to lose this, but at this point, there's nothing we can do. And I don't know if somebody else is out there for me, because I don't know if this is happening for a reason. So I don't know if there's somebody out there for me that I'm missing out on. And that's why we can't do what we do. And so at the end of this, let's check back and see if this is still something that we want.
Wait, is that what he said?
Yes. So.
Oh my! You didn't tell me that, bitch.
So
he told me.
I'm crying.
I told both of y'all. I think JeJuan was on the phone when okay.
You said that.
Yeah. So when he explained it, it was like, to me it felt like, okay, this is a
it's a love story. Baby, just say yes. Julia, this is somewhere we can be. I'll be waiting for you. It's a love story, baby, just say yes.
Oh my god. You're getting your black card revoked at this point.
JeJuan.
I thought that things like this get better with time, but I still need you.
Anyways,
why is that?
Look at him. Now I'm over it.
Come on, Semaj. Pay him
He's
this.
still singing. Not that you're on mute. So for me, it was, yes, I'm sad about this.
I'm done.
Okay. So
Now you crying.
for me, when I explained that to friends, it was like, and they were partly joking, but they were like, forget him. He can't stay loyal during quarantine. Forget him. Whatever. And so for me, it was like, no, I like the
not me, girl.
Because and here's another thing. Now I'm gonna get back on this.
Okay.
MJ, I forgot his last name. MJ on Instagram. He does all these like love talks, whatever.
Rodriguez?
No.
Oh.
It's a what's his name? MJ Johnson. I'll figure it out. But he said we treat dating like shopping. We treat it like a checklist. Does he have X, Y, and Z? Does he have A, B, C, D, E? If he doesn't, next, move on. And that's not how I want to think about it. He said you should think about it as gathering data and then figuring out, does this equation work with what I'm trying to do? And so when it came to him, I wasn't trying to treat it like, okay, this is a checklist, A, B, and C. Does he have this? Da, 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 da. Now there are things that we talked about that I liked, and there were like a couple things that I was like, girl, I'm not doing that. But but I really wanted to. I had to get over it because in my head it was like, okay, this is a breakup technically, but
yeah,
I don't know where this is going in the future. And so I can't really be like mad because he truly communicated how he felt and he asked how I felt about it. And so that's what I wanted more so than what's actually happening. I wanted the values and the ethics. Are you able to communicate? Are you able to say, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I want? I don't know. I think that's the question that we kind of have to ask ourselves. Is this the person that, like, do you see the ethics and the values? Do you see the little drop?
JeJuan, please don't start your shit.
I wasn't gonna do anything.
I have a great question.
I wasn't gonna do anything.
I'm dead.
So one of the things that I am like glad for is the mentorship that comes with being gay, like a gay Black man, like especially when it's like older gay Black men that can give you that mentorship. And one of the things that I learned like a while ago was just to, when you're trying to build a relationship or whatever it is with somebody new, being anonymous about it, like keeping it anonymous to yourself, like to y'all, is so important. And that was like one of the things that I had to adopt. And it was like, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if I was in a relationship or if I was like talking to somebody, JeJuan and Semaj would not know until like months to a year into that relationship. Like,
wow,
yeah,
that's news to me, ho. Cause
yeah,
that's news to me, ho. Cause I'll be like, who is this?
Please, but no. And here's the thing, because this what I was told. When I was talking to him about it, he said, because you have to think of it like nobody has a question and answer book for relationships. A relationship works for you, and everybody's relationship is unique towards everybody else. Like, there's some things that you may do that other people won't do, and vice versa for everybody.
Yeah.
So he was like, I don't believe in going to people about, like, you know, the problems that he's facing, or, you know, what's going on, or, like, you know, he didn't feel entitled to that, or he didn't feel like people were entitled to that. And he said, like, after, like, his previous relationship that really, like, okay, so before he turned 30, when he was like 28, I think, his last relationship when he was in his 20s, like, ended very horribly because he felt like everybody had access to too much of his life and knew too much about what they did and what they had and stuff like that. So he felt like his next relationship after that, once he finally got into his 30s, was like, I'm going to keep everything to myself until it's like a stable enough foundation. Yeah, secure and stable, and to where we can start sharing, like, bits and pieces. And it's like, oh, wow.
Because everybody can't forgive like you forgive. But
yeah, and not everybody has good intentions for what you have. And not saying that my friends wouldn't have good intentions, but it's still going back to that point of what works for you may not work for them.
I'm glad you
I don't
said
feel
that.
like, and even when I was talking to one of my friends recently, and she was asking me something, like, relationship wise, and I told her, I was like, well, I don't really know how I would act in that situation, because I said I've never been in that situation before. And I said, but I wouldn't know until, like, it's one of those things, like, you would have had to be in that space. Like, you would have to be experiencing that firsthand to say how you would react.
Hey.
Are you busy?
Yeah, I'm filming right now.
Can I say hi?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
one of them said absolutely not.
It was
JeJuan. He's attacking you.
JeJuan.
Yeah.
Let me come through that camera so I can smack you.
Baby, you're too far, baby. Get in that car and let's go.
Can you see them?
You're too far, baby. You're too far, baby.
Yellow's not his color.
It is, baby. It's been as my color since prom. The girls were eating it up. Thank you.
I'm screaming.
Tell her to fix that bun on top of her head. Thank you.
And tell him his hair isn't fluffed enough.
Y'all so ignorant.
I love her. I love her.
They said they love you. They said they love you.
Hey, number 1, I only know JeJuan.
Tay.
I'm crying.
I don't know if you can see.
JeJuan was getting gathered.
I was getting gathered. Love it.
She said hashtag COVID safe. Okay. Can I call you back?
Not yellow's not my color, bitch. It's been my color.
JeJuan, please. This gonna be in the bloopers.
Let her know, bitch.
This gonna be in the bloopers.
she immediately chose violence.
It did, and I loved it. Every second of it. I need somebody like that. Yeah, let's keep it going.
Girl, what is she talking about? I'm right here.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
I gather you every other work day. Yeah. But
Please.
okay, so I know what I was saying.
Mm-hmm. Your old friend. Your.
Please, but no,
you know what I'm talking about.
He's older. But no, like, what I was saying is, like, basically to sum it up, like, it's okay to share stuff. Okay, I would say this: share stuff when you feel comfortable to share it,
and who you feel comfortable to share it with.
Period.
Thank you, because I was just about to say,
because everybody don't always gotta know, and everybody don't need to know.
True. I feel like I'm a different type of person. Y'all know me. I like to, but then it's back to, like, I only tell people things that I know who respect, and
also, okay, I do have a question too, or not a question, but it's like something.
Okay, pertaining to what I'm saying, or just in general.
No, it was kind of piggybacking. No, it's different.
Okay, well, let me finish my point. What I was saying was, it's too close off to me, for me, because I need for people to know that I'm dealing with this person. For my sake, I need people to know who I'm dealing with, what's going on. How should I go about this situation? Because I don't know anything. And that's scary to me.
And that's because you grew up in, like Semaj was saying, you grew up in that environment where things were shared and like.
I'm not the person to just keep it to myself.
Right.
I need people to know because I don't know what I'm doing, and that's scary.
You're scared. You're scared. It's okay.
Exactly. And but
it's okay. It's okay because I'ma always be here for you.
Okay, but listen. I just. That's too alone. That's too by myself, and I've never been. It's too much.
Well, see, I feel like
I could get hurt easily. I feel like somebody can take advantage of me easily because I'm by myself. If I'm by myself and nobody knows this thing, who's gonna protect me? Who gonna love me?
Please.
Who gonna protect me?
Come on, please.
You got your degree.
I'm gonna kick him off the call.
Who gonna protect me?
It's the wait.
Please.
Because I think I'm just gonna talk about that because the thing is for me. I don't like that feeling, and
for
I don't
me,
know.
I like how everybody's like, well, for me.
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know if it's a Sagittarius thing. My best friend Alejandra is Sagittarius, and we go back like how we date is very similar. So she always felt like I don't like, no matter what it is, I don't like telling people until it's secure. Because if I'm excited about something and I'm telling you, and then it doesn't fall through, now I have to go back to you and say this didn't fall through. And I don't know if that's a fear of failure. I don't know if that's a fear of disappointing other people or being embarrassed because you got disappointed. But
You're not embarrassed.
But that's how I feel. I don't like if I tell people, it's gonna be years, months down the line. When I tell people about things, it done already happened in past.
Damn.
And so I think for the people that I do tell things to, it's pretty much you and Tay are the people that I would tell
close people, close friends.
Right. Because I know that when I do feel embarrassed, y'all would allow me to feel those emotions without feeling judged or whatever.
Yes.
And I think it's important to allow people to feel the emotions. Even though if you know in your head you would do X, Y, and Z, it's important to let those people feel those emotions. What's your question, Tay?
Okay. So when talking about self-love, I don't know if this goes for everybody. This might just be me, but one of the things that I've noticed when it comes to like not dating, but just like talking to people and stuff like that is the enjoyment of being spontaneous, keeping your options open, not limiting, trying some of everything. Experience.
Come on, try some of everything.
Because Semaj and JeJuan can really agree with this when it comes to me in general. Like, it's like different. It's everything up here. Just like an ice cream shop with every flavor
areas.
that you can think of.
It's in different areas.
It's some professional shit. They got cameras in different areas. But no, like, and being spontaneous, like, you just gotta.
Live your life.
Child, and that's the thing, like, once you allow yourself to let go of those reins of being in control of stuff and just letting stuff happen freely,
it gets
you will start rolling back on being fearful of certain things. Like, it won't even cross your mind to a certain point. Or like stuff will happen that you once were fearful of, and it'll happen and you just be like, okay, girl, like, whatever. Like,
you hear what that is, y'all? Growth. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and move the psyched out thing. Yeah.
Okay. So, I read some articles. Okay, so 11 conversations.
Always reading.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Always keep my nose.
Professor.
If y'all kept y'all nose in them books instead of in them holes. Yeah. So, 11 conversations.
JeJuan, that's how your mouth be on that hole.
Baby,
right,
that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother conversation, whole nother video, whole nother account. All right, let's move on.
and you would know a lot about a whole nother account, the both of you, all three of us, actually, all three of us,
yeah,
all three of us,
yeah.
11
You better watch what you
conversations.
say.
Child, anyway.
I was gonna move right along.
Child, anyways.
11 conversations to save a relationship. I wanted, so these are the type of conversations that people need to have if they want to be in a successful relationship. And this is just the reading, and these are my observations.
Mm-hmm.
These are, because I think these conversations are things that can make or break a relationship. Number one, intimacy. How do you express your intimacy? And we'll go into love language and all that stuff later.
This is why relationships tiring. Number one, tire me out.
But these are things that you talk about with your... These are things that you talk about with your friends and your family.
Wait, what you said? Because intimacy is tiring? Is that what you said?
I said number one was tiring. The question was tiring.
The whole 11 conversations like you need to have is tiring.
I guess.
See, even JeJuan not paying attention.
No, I'm paying. I just didn't understand what was the question? Like, what is the?
Well, okay, so these are. I just want to.
You have to ask them how do they express their intimacy, JeJuan.
Okay.
Well, no. Okay. Well, okay. I will change the word from conversations to these are things you need to find out. These are things you need to know about somebody. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to ask. You can be in somebody's presence and realize if you're self-aware and realize how people express their love. Intimacy. Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So number 2 is boundaries. Okay. You need to have your own space, your own boundaries. Protect your energy. Number 3, your needs. What are things that you need? Not what you want. What are things that you need? 4, what are your fears? Okay, because somebody can act on those fears and they don't even know that that's your fear. 5, your fighting style. How y'all choose violence. You need to be aware.
With take fists. Yeah.
And mouth. Okay, bark and bite. Okay. Yeah. 6, spending habits. Your money, your accounting.
Oh yeah. Please. Yeah, that's important.
7, children. Do you want to have children? How do you discipline children? 8, alone time.
Because you try to whoop my child, I'm gonna get you.
Even you gonna talk to your husband like that?
Yes. What the hell? Yeah.
Okay. So you're 8, alone time. What is that time spent? 9, work-life balance. Because some people feel like you should be a stay-at-home this, or you should work less, or you should
stay at home.
You know what? I might.
So 10.
If that paycheck right, yeah. And I got a visa. Yeah.
But I'm staying. But if that's the only way, I'm staying home, is because I want to stay home, not because you say I have to stay home.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm not cleaning. And stuff. We're gonna have a housekeeper for that.
Why is that number 10? Housework. What are the roles?
Well, can you clean? Did you wash your ass?
11. Each other's families. So how do you that dynamic between mother-in-law,
baby, your own family?
Because
is
listen, because
another family.
If I don't like your mama and she don't like me, because that's gonna be the only thing. If I dislike her, it's because she dislike me, and if that happens, I'ma just tell you it's going to be hell and high water every time we see each other because I will choose violence. I'm gonna tell that old raggedy hoe I'm gonna kick her busted kneecap.
I'm sorry. How did this get turned? Anyway,
we just saying hypothetically, gotta be prepared for these type of situations.
Well, the thing about that is especially when we're talking about guys, most guys date somebody that's like their mother. Mm-mm. So if most of the time, because
I do not want to see the black womanized version of me that's older, because I know it's going to be violence.
You are going to be weaponized.
It's going come on. I already know how to deal with you. Come on. I already know how to deal with
her. Tay in his later years, that's going to be a key. That's gonna be a cute.
I don't know if I want to see this. We're gonna have the same dynamic. We're gonna be bailing him out. I'm gonna be bailing both of y'all out. It's just
look, JeJuan, look, both of us gonna be sitting. Both of us gonna be sitting there. It's okay because Semaj gonna be here. Semaj gonna be here anyway, so it don't even matter. Look, Semaj gonna get there. Look, Semaj gonna get there. We gonna get out. It took you long enough. We're not even gonna say thank you. We're not gonna say.
Wait. Would you like to accept this call from the Cook County Jail?
No.
Go ahead and click it over. Go ahead.
What y'all do this time?
Look. Before we get, what are the charges?
What charges? How much?
Aggravated assault.
Battery.
Attempt to shoot a weapon.
Attempt to shoot a weapon.
Somebody's gonna be like, what happened? We're gonna be like, okay, so what happened was JeJuan called me and said he thought Steven was cheating. But we didn't want to call you because we knew that you were gonna try to say, well, wait until the morning. And we couldn't wait until the morning.
And you needed somebody to bail you out.
Wait until the morning.
Look, JeJuan. So we tried to go through his phone, but he wouldn't unlock it. So we may have waved the gun at him. We may have waved it his way, but we ain't pointed at him.
And we may have shot it, in the room.
But it was in the air.
It was in the house. It was in the house.
JeJuan, look, it was in the air, but it ricocheted off the ceiling and hit the wall beside him.
It was self-defense.
Clearly, it was self-defense.
Look, JeJuan. But girl, you got to come get us. The bond for both of us is $5,000, but we'll give it back to you once you get here.
It's the way we're gonna have to start a bail fund, and we could just pull out because
look, everybody gonna be attached to it. Cecily. Been like y'all. It's gonna be a emergency group chat. So when you text in it, that's what it's gonna be known for.
And
somebody in jail.
You know what else I can see? Semaj pulling up in a black Escalade with a mink coat on, and he bail us out. He gonna be like, "Bring your ass home. Bring your ass in this car." We're gonna be fighting. Get in the front seat.
In your stripper heels and your stripper heels and your fur.
In my fishnet. Get in this goddamn car right now. Get in this car.
I'm gonna let you know right now. I didn't do nothing. That was JeJuan.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So, one of the other things that I want people to know about relationships is...
Well, I forgot we was recording.
You did. Screaming.
See, y'all, that just be us on the regular.
Okay. Two things that successful relationships have. They did a study on all different types of couples. One thing that you need to have for long-lasting relationships is, do you feel like you and your partner are similar? We talk a lot about opposites attract and all these things, and we see couples where it's from the outside looking in, this couple are complete opposites. Or this couple may be totally the same, they look the same, the whole nine. And you wonder, well, opposites do attract, well, not in this case. You go back and forth. But the thing is, do you, in your relationship, do you and your partner feel like y'all are similar? Whether from the outside...
I don't think that's a bad thing if we're not similar.
No. I think for... It goes back to one of those things, different people. I think for some people, they can exist in a very opposite relationship with somebody that does things differently from them. But when it comes, for other people, it's not so much because that's uncomfortable and unfamiliar to them. But also, I feel like when it comes down to that test that you have us took, when it comes down to those things, they can't be opposite at all.
Somebody's going to have the ethics, the values.
Yeah, somebody has to compromise in some part. Well, both parties have to compromise on things to make it to execute something new.
Well, I had them, the guys, take this love language for singles quiz, and I would just like to know, what was your top one?
Mine is words of affirmation.
Very telling. Okay.
And so was mine. Mine was words of affirmation.
And mine was quality time. Now, I would like to know your guys' second.
Acts of service was right below that, literally right there.
Can you read me, since you have your phone, can you read me off? It was a 27% one. It was
quality time, receiving gifts. Physical touch. No, receiving gifts was your third. So quality time.
It was quality time. Yeah, quality time was my second one.
Okay. So for me, the older that I get, it balances out. So for this last time, I had 3 that were literally like 33% each, which was quality time, words of affirmation, and gifts. So,
yeah, gifts. Uh-huh.
So for me, I watched a video that said sometimes your love language, for the most part, there's a pattern between your zodiac sign and your love language. A lot of times, Aries do need words of affirmation. Geminis do need words of affirmation because they're very vocal. And so they need to know that the other person is also, through their words, loving what they're doing because they're often expressing themselves through words. For Pisces and for Sagittarius, it's quality time. We just like to be next to one another. And even with Capricorns, words of affirmation, y'all slick with y'all tongue too. So that's how you express your emotions. And I think a lot of times...
Say, shut the hell up.
I was going to move right past it because JeJuan was going to choose violence.
No, it wasn't. Because you're reading.
A lot of times people... They operate from their love language in a relationship, and that can get into trouble when somebody else isn't on that same wavelength. There was a story about this guy whose love language was acts of service, and he thought doing the laundry for his wife, surprisingly, like a couple times, would make her happier. And in her eyes, she wasn't acts of service love language person. So you doing the laundry was like, okay, great, thank you.
Okay, girl.
You contributed to keeping this house clean.
Right, thank you.
Don't draw us like you're supposed to next. Go ahead and wash some dishes next.
Right.
Let's move on. Wash some dishes.
Okay, while you at it.
Let's go. Bust some suds. Come on.
So for her love language, was words of affirmation. And so to her, him doing the laundry was like, oh, okay. But for him, it was like, wow, I did this thing because that's my love language.
Men are so fucking... So bottom tier. Oh my gosh. Men are funny. Men are funny. Unwashed ass is very funny.
Go on, shut up.
Sorry.
So what I wanted for people to do is to operate from your significant other's love language. So if you know that your person's thing is quality time, and that may not be your thing, then when you operate on dates or whatever, you make sure that you operate from their love language and that the other person is operating from your love language so that both of y'all are together and willing to do what it takes to make the other person feel wanted and needed in the relationship.
And I also want to say that I feel like even with this test, one of the things that I did notice that kind of like a flaw, I will say this a flaw. I feel like one of the things is like, because one of my lowest percentages was physical touch. It was 7%. But I know for me, exactly. And I know for me in general, that's not true. But it's because to me,
value the other things over that.
Yes, I value it more, but it's not that I don't value it at all. I still hold it high. So that's another thing.
Very,
also,
very high. very high.
Higher than Sky Daddy, baby. But anyway, when it comes to words of affirmation and acts of service, like I put those things higher, but at the same time, it's like, don't just not like physical touch. And like I said, I love being spontaneous. So like, yeah, you're gonna have to be creative, honey, and you can't just not give me that. Like,
right.
So just because something is low for you does not mean that you just absolutely don't need it. You may still very much need it.
Y'all, I love this episode.
I love every episode.
I do. I love every episode. We always come out with either a lesson, a saying.
Yes, awareness.
Yeah.
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 Can we do that? Can we do that all on 3? Just because? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that as the closer every episode.
Well, shout out to everybody. I had fun. My name is Tay. You can find my links to my socials. Okay, so you'll find my socials right here somewhere, looking cute, and y'all can follow me and comment, spam. My Twitter is not safe for work, girl. But it's a key. It's a key in the gag. It's a key in the gag. Y'all will love it.
It's the way me and his mom just like.
Because y'all still, and that's the funny thing. People still be surprised, especially my friends. Y'all know who I am. Stop acting
right. Come on, this ain't nothing new, baby. You been here, you seeing it, you watching it. Yeah,
period.
You like it.
And y'all YouTube people, y'all not new no more either. Come on, JeJuan.
And you guys can find me. I don't know where, but you can, I guess on the other side.
you want to be different and out of uniform. You would have had to.
Baby, if you going this way, then I'm going this way.
Because you want to be different. Because you're a weirdo. You sick freak. Come on, Semaj.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
I'm dead. Well, yes, you can find all of our socials here. Check us out. This has been a great episode. And we're signing out. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. What?
Yeah.
Catch y'all next time.
Bye.
Oh, y'all thought this was over? Nah, baby. Y'all got to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know where y'all thought y'all was going. Thank you.
Pull up on us 3 a.m. like Bossa Nova. Hey, fuck a bottle, nigga, bring the cornerstone. If I was you, I wouldn't fuck, I fuck with his bro. I just spent the bitch vehicle in the Gucci store. He talking about how he be spinning, but is he gonna spin it though? Bought the rooms all